What's going on, guys? Amazing Nades here, and I'm going to be doing a review for Payday 2. And this game isn't really that old. If you're not a fan of the first one, I wasn't either, but this is something that came out, and I just looked at the trailer. It was really good. And if you've ever wanted to be part of the movie Heat or do a bank heist, this is the game for you. So just to get into it, this is strictly a first-person shooter, but it's not like Call of Duty or Halo, something like that. You're never shooting against anyone else online. At least you work together in groups of four to pull off bank heists and other illegal stuff, basically. So as you can see, there's an overlay of these are actually online games. You can start a game and you can just join in session. There's a couple of different types. There's pro, and then there's regular. And in pro job, when you fail, you can't go back. In regular, you can. So this is the screen where the host, which is green, chooses contract and whatever, elephant job. And just to talk about that, some jobs can be 1 day and some jobs can be multiple days, up to 2 or 3. And the more time, usually the more experience and the more money. And they actually did change that because in the beginning there wasn't that much. It wasn't worth doing 2 or 3 day jobs, but now it's completely worth it. And there are 4 different traits that you can pick from. And if you want to watch my video of the traits that I pick, I think it's the best combination that I found so far. But 4 traits, 4 people, and it's good to have one of each. And because each guy has specific skills that they can bring, Ghost being the least, and I think Technician being the most. That's just my preference. You can choose whatever you want. And like I said, there are a lot of different types of jobs you can do. You can read them right off the screen. There are variations in the variations, like bank job. You can do deposit boxes. You can do gold. You can do cash, like this one is. And the more difficulty, the more money, and the more XP, obviously. And as I already said, if it's pro, you get more money, even more money, because it's more difficult. And by difficulty, I mean it's harder to stealth it, and the enemies that come and attack you are better and are more armored. This is the screen right before you attack or go in, where you can actually look at everybody's loadout to coordinate or whatever. And then you all start together. Voila. And before you actually start shooting, you're in case mode, and that's where you're not. Once you put your mask on, you're in steal mode, like that guy just did right there, and I'm about to do it right now. Now you can actually start, crawling and shooting stuff. And sorry about the lag. Somebody was lagging really bad in the beginning of this game, and it was getting a little ridiculous. It's gonna go away. Okay, and you have the ability to talk to other people. There's a push to talk, and there's also joined in session, which is really really good because you don't want
Is
to
this stealth
start
or
the
not?
game. And there was somebody talking, and I forgot to mute him. But yeah. Yeah, I typed it out. So you can talk to people, it's push to talk, and you can also type right there to coordinate and whatever. And now, as I said, there's a couple different ways to do, and this is really with any job. You can either go stealth, you can just go right in and shoot, and that was fast. You can easily lose a stealth job that quickly. You just get caught, and it's all over. And at least in the bank job, there are buttons that like the tellers can press, and also people can call the police. So you have things to equal it out. Like you have ECM jammers, which stop everything, stop all the stop all the radio, whatever, cell phones from going. And I'm tying people down. And there is a drill that you put on the main vault to get inside, obviously. And it takes about 300 seconds. It's in seconds, not minutes. So, 5 minutes, something like that. So you have to just wait a certain amount of time for the drill to open. And when the drill is going, you're obviously being attacked because they want to stop you, obviously. And there's a couple different ways to get through normal doors though, because only the vault door you have to drill. Other doors you can use drills, smaller drills. You can use C4. You can use a saw for some of them, and you can also use a ECM jammer. There's a trait that allows you to open it. So those are all the ways all the things you can do to open all different types of doors. Now, besides your ability to bring things like ECM jammers and C4, you can also bring things like ammunition, medical supplies, and even sentry guns if you're a technician. So with technician, you can either pick the C4 or the sentry gun. The sentry gun is pretty useless, but there is a glitch, or I think it's a mod, because I think you have to download it. I looked it up. I don't remember what it said, but where you get unlimited sentry guns, and they're just all shooting at the same time. I think they've pretty much fixed that. That was going on in the beginning when it first came out. I'm pretty sure that's fixed. But you would just see lines of sentry guns just shooting people and, you know, cheating. But I was actually in a game when someone did that, and yes, I exploited it, obviously. Now, if you have this game, you will quickly realize, just after doing, you know, 10 heists, that the maps never change. You will always be in the same bank, which has some disadvantages because it's the same bank and it never changes. But they try to help this by moving things around, such as the vault. The vault will not always be in that same spot, and the same with the security door, which is, I just passed it. But the security door, they will not always be in the same spot, and they'll move around to add some variety. But it's still the same bank, so it has, you know, it gets boring after a while is all I'm gonna say, going to the same bank. But such things as like the number of security guards, where they walk, where the cameras are pointed, if the doors are open or not, and how many people are in the bank and where they are. All those things change every time, so it's just random every time. So it helps give better variety, so it's not the same bank job every time. Now, the weapons in this game are actually pretty awesome. Not like they're incredible, but how realistic they are is they're very accurate. Now, not only does, and I skipped ahead in the video a little bit in the footage. Now, not only does the scenario have different situations and variety, but the enemies do too. There's like probably 8 different types of enemies, and there's a couple like super enemies, including guys that wear bomb suits, which is a little ridiculous. Now, this is what it looks like inside the vault. Obviously, this was a cash job. You automatically back it in 4 seconds. And this is with the special running ability with bags, which you should look up in my skill trait review, and it's very necessary, because if you don't have that, then you will walk slow as shit. You have to get it. The game also gives you kind of not little bonuses, but the faster you do a job, and I guess, I mean, if you do a complete stealth, obviously you're never attacked by anybody. But if you go loud, but the faster you do it, the easier it is, because progressively the enemies get more and more difficult, and I wouldn't say more difficult, but the harder enemies, there's more of them as the game continues, and they even start taking your money bags, as you can see. So you gotta shoot them in the head. That's the only way to do it. By far the hardest part of any heist is always leaving, because you always have to, the bank itself, or wherever you're doing it, even if you're on the move, where you started, like in the bank, that's like the fort. That's a strong point. You're all in there. You have all your ammo bags down and health. So when you leave that, you have nothing, and you're running on the street, and you're getting shot by everybody, and it looks just like the movie Heat, and it's awesome. But it is by far the hardest part, and it's by far where at least I have lost the most times. And you can't get down. All you need is someone to revive you, and that's it. And there's a van, you put all the bags in, and when you're done, you'll go in the area, and you're done with the heist. Now, sometimes this happens. The percentage of it happening is so much more when they're doing an assault, and it'll tell you up in the upper right that they're assaulting. This means they're gonna just throw waves of guys at you, And when you leave when they're assaulting, there's a really good chance that you're gonna be chased leaving, and you're gonna have to do a whole nother battle upon the battle you just did. And that's what actually happened. I've never had it happen to me ever before, so I think they may have added that in the game. But you have to escape after, so that's pretty difficult. It also adds good variety because you don't have to escape that often, and there are actually the areas that your van is destroyed. You have to wait for another van. The area that you fight in, there are actually a lot of different types of areas like that. So you don't fight on it a lot, and there's different varieties, so it's kind of cool. Like this area, I had very rarely fought on, so I had no idea what I was doing. I was following everyone else. This is also the type of game that you really need either 3 friends with you, so a complete set of 4, or at least to talk to other people. Because in the beginning, if you're alone playing with everyone else, at least when I started, I bought it the first day, everyone had no idea. It takes a while to learn the maps and really realize what you're doing. Until I was level like almost 20, and I'm 61 right now. Until like 20, I had no idea what I was doing. I was following everyone else. And it just takes you a while to realize, first off, what's happening, and to just memorize the maps. And things are constantly changing, so you can't really memorize where everything is. You can just memorize where they can be, basically. Like I'll keep going back to the bank. The vault's only 1 or 2 places. The security office is only 1 or 2 places. So that also doesn't. That's a negative because it can only be in 1 or 2 places, and I mean, it's either in one spot or the other, and it's always like that. I think maybe if they add more to the game, they add a different bank type, they add more just scenarios, or just something, because it's the same bank every time, and that really hurts them. I know they tried to make up for it by changing things around, and it does help. But after doing 30 bank heists, it's the same thing every time. Now, another part of the game and customization is you can make different masks. When you start, you get a couple different masks, and at the end of every heist, you get the choice of 3 cards. You can either get cash, you can either get weapon mod, or you can get a mask or colors, and they're all random, by the way. You just choose at random at which one. And this is another negative because I have $10 million almost, and I can't spend them on getting weapon mods or masks or anything. You have to unlock them, then you spend the money to buy them, which is kind of like stupid anyways. You gotta unlock them, then you gotta buy them. But money's not a problem with me. If I could buy them, I would, but I can't, and that's another negative because I just have a ton of money piling up and nothing to do with it. Now, on the topic of money, you might get $10 million from a heist, but you only get $250,000 in what they call spending cash, and that's what you can spend on guns and things that you've unlocked. And the reason they don't give it $10 million right then is in spending cash is because then you'd have every gun. So they put it into what they call an offshore account, and when you go into your safe house where you can go and practice some of these things like lockpicking, C4, there's a vault. You can see how much money you have stolen ever. And that's kind of where you can see like all the money that you've taken. And like I have $400 million, and there's a table where there's a lot of money just piling up the more you get. So that's like a visual way to see how much money you've taken. It's kind of annoying because it's completely useless. But there's no really other way around it. If you get 20 bucks from a heist, like that just seems stupid. And if they gave you $10 million, then you would have every gun in the game. So there's really nothing to do with that. They did their best. I know that there's not much you can do, but at least there's a visual way to see how much money you've taken. I have to say, even though there are all these negatives, there are new DLCs coming out, new maps, new missions, I'm pretty sure. And I mean, for the price of $30, that's at least when it came out. You gotta get 3 of your friends. It's gonna be a really fun and challenging game to completely stealth missions, which is the really goal is stealth every mission. And I've stealthed every mission. It's very difficult. It takes a while. And I mean, if you've ever wanted to be part of a heist, this is a game for you because it's great at simulating. And at the end, you get a score sheet of basically everything you've done, and A lot of it goes to the offshore account, but you do get some spending cash, and that's what you spend on things. And then you get to choose your cards to whatever you want, whatever you can get, and it's got by completely random. So that's that. And if I had to come up with a number to put this game at, I would have to say it would be an 8 out of 10 when you're playing with your friends or communicating or playing with your friends, people who are talking, because typing just takes too long. It's useless. 8 out of 10 for that. And if you're playing by yourself, a 7 out of 10, because it's ridiculous to play by yourself and not talk to anybody. But I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Hope you guys get it. It's a fun game. And I'll see you guys in the next video.